Hmm, I didn't expect to see you here this soon. I mean, it says here in my book that you won't be due until, well, I can't tell you that, can I? But you are early, that is for sure. I mean, it is not often that my book is wrong, but you know, nothing is ever certain, especially here, so. Do tell me though, what happened to you? Hmm, you are not very talkative. I can see that. Well, there's definitely other ways to find out what happened to you. Give me your hand. Don't worry, I won't hurt you. I need you to give me your hand so that I can understand what happened to you. I need to know. There's protocols to follow, forms to fill out. I mean, being deaf is often nothing more than being a bureaucrat. Oh, they do talk. Yes, indeed, I am deaf. And now, give me your hand. Thank you, dear. Hmm, interesting. You know, it's not every day that I meet someone who is so determined to meet me. Usually, people tend to avoid me or try to trick me, which they can't. But but not you. Hmm. Well, tell me, I am curious. Am I everything you ever wished for? Judging by the look on your face, I wouldn't say so. I must say, though, I am very sorry that I am not a skeleton in a black cloak carrying a scythe, revealing eternal mysteries to you. But I know that is not why you came here, is it? Well, sorry to disappoint. I tend to go for a more sophisticated look nowadays. I mean, don't you like my suit? And wouldn't you agree that this how do you call it again? I tend to forget. Oh yes. This mid-century modern ambience is much more comforting than, say, eternal darkness. Well, you don't have to agree. I create my home to my own liking anyway. Here, have a seat. I want to have a little conversation with you. Oh, the other dead people? Don't you worry about them. Time works differently here. And they won't mind waiting a little longer. They're dead after all. They don't need to rush anywhere. So, would you perhaps like some tea? Or another beverage? You know, I've had someone here a while ago who wanted a singular tic tac, whatever that is. But I found that rather interesting. I mean, you're dead. You can have two. I'm sorry, that was unprofessional. I shouldn't be talking about my other proteges to you. So, what do you desire? Okay, we can do that. But before we get to that, you must tell me why you're here. Oh, yes, you're right. I know why you're here, but I would still like to hear it from you. In my opinion, there is more truth to words than thoughts. Well, not more truth, but a different kind of truth, a more beautiful kind of truth. So please, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yes, I see. Huh. So, you ended your life. You killed yourself. I must admit, well, sadly admit, that I hear these words quite often nowadays. And it makes me sad. Why? Because no living thing should ever have to make the decision to not live anymore, to not wanting to live anymore. Tell me, why did you do it? Hmm. Yeah. I also hear these words quite often. And it makes me angry, I will not lie. Why does it make me angry? Well, you see, people, or humans, say that death is cruel and unnatural, yet so many people seek me for comfort. Those people, however, say life is cruel and it has no purpose for them anymore. Some even go as far as to say that life never had a purpose to begin with, except for maybe to end. People always feel the need to place life and death in juxtaposition with each other to highlight their differences. But how could you ever compare these two when they are so vastly different? How can people call them both cruel? What even is cruelty if not man-made? Life itself is not cruel. Death is not cruel. They are both necessities for the construct that is existence. What meaning would life have if nothing ever died? And what would death be if nothing ever lived but nothingness? You see, life and death are so different. You can't compare them, but you can't separate them either. So to what use is it to make one of them cruel and the other kind? Mankind's need for a hero and a villain is just ridiculous. And mind you that I'm not saying any of this to make you feel bad that you made that decision to end your life. I can understand it. I understand it completely, more than you know. You see, when I touched your hand earlier, I was able to see your hurt and pain. All those things that happened to you and led you to make the decision that you made. I saw all those sleepless nights where you cried, alone. All those times you tried to reach out but your calls faded into nothingness. I saw this facade of yours, the way it crumbled and no one seemed to care. And I'm sorry, my love. Sorry for all the ache, the helplessness. And I'm sorry that you only found comfort in thinking of me. Now tell me, have you found comfort in me? Don't cry. Don't cry. It's okay. You're safe here. You don't need to worry. Here in my realm, nothing is ever truly set in stone. What are you feeling right now? And don't worry, I won't judge you. It is not my place to judge you. I, after all, have truly heard it all. So, what are you feeling right now? Hmm. Hmm. I see. Regret. But you feel like you made the right decision? Based on what? On logic or on your feelings? It's fine, you don't have to answer right now. I want to show you something first. You see that window over there? Yes, the one with the beautiful view out to the woods. Of course, I don't live in the woods, it's an illusion, but I do find comfort in the forest. It's calming, grounding. This specific window, though, is special. It can reflect comfort. It shows you all the things that bring you comfort. As it does with me, it shows me a beautiful forest, sunbeams breaking through the branches, birds chirping, moss as soft as a pillow. But I know what comforts me. I had enough time in my existence to figure it out. I don't think I'm wrong when I say that you don't truly know what is comfort to you. What comforts you. You think I might be able to comfort you, but I don't think that that is the truth. Now, look out the window and see how the forest transforms into something entirely different, but something known. A scenery you barely remember, but now that you see it, it feels like you've been there yesterday. It's a memory from your childhood. And look at you. Look at you, you've grown so much. You were so beautiful as a child, carrying the world in your smile, in your eyes. You are still beautiful, but your smile has lost its weight. Your eyes have seen the horrors that mankind has to offer. But still, there's laughter in your life. I can see it in your face. Still, there's goodness in the people around you. And still, there is love. So much of it, it could crush you if I unloaded it onto you. But there's a shadow over your eyes. Keeps you from seeing all the good around you, the good in you. Let's look at some more comfort, okay? Oh, I see. Look at that. Other humans. Look at them. Don't they look like the nicest people? I knew you had good intuition when it comes to other people. I mean, look at their smiles, their eyes. They have seen you, and their eyes are still shining and lighting up whenever they look at you. Your life, you, are not the product of hate and pain and bad things. If you were, they wouldn't be looking at you like that. Against all the odds, you came out as a well-rounded person who is full of love, kindness, creativity, and life. You're so full of all this goodness, you're not ready to leave the realm of the living. Not yet. I beg pardon? When is it that you will receive love? That is a very consequential question. Well, have a look at your friends again, okay? They're just as young as you are, still so full of kindness and love. Don't you think that they'll want to share some with you? You don't think they noticed that you were suffering? Well, I'll have to disagree. You see, I actually know some of them. They prayed to me, prayed that I wouldn't take you away from them. They care deeply, and they love you deeply. Your purpose is not to only give and never receive. I will ask you again. Do you think doing this to yourself was the right decision? And will your answer be based on logic or emotion? You're right. It was not the right decision. But that is not tragic. You don't need to cry. You don't need to worry. You see, people come into my realm, this specific realm, whenever they are on the brink of death. That brink might only be a couple of seconds. But, as I said, time works differently here. And being on the brink of death does not mean you're dead. Yes, you're right. That means there's still a chance for you to come back. But only if you wish to. You will not remember any of this. It will feel like what's the word? A failed suicide attempt, as you humans tend to say. But it'll also be a new beginning of some sorts for you. No, you won't remember anything. Except for only maybe one thing. You will remember what brings you comfort, what brings you stability in life. You will remember that I'm not the one who will bring you comfort. Oh, you're too sweet. Don't worry about me. I won't take it to heart. I'm used to it. What was that? How will you be able to live a happy life after this? That question is hard for me to answer. You know, I'm not really what you would call an expert on life. I am death, after all. The god of death, if you will. But I imagine it like this. Wanting to end your own life is like a wound that will never quite heal. Because that decision will haunt you for the rest of your life. You will perceive your emotions in very different ways from now on. In your happiest moments, you will always wonder how you could ever have made that decision. But in the dark moments, when you're really sad, when you feel like you've been dipped into the river Styx, then ending your own life will seem like the best option again. And it will take all your strength and courage not to do it, not to try again, because next time, maybe there won't be anything I can do for you. So use the good times to convince yourself that your life is worth living, that you're full of love, that you are loved. But also remember that an open wound like the one you will carry with you can get infected. It can hurt terribly. You will feel sick and drained and just horrible. But there's doctors for the sick people. And by doctor, I don't necessarily mean a medical practitioner or a shaman or a medicine man or whatever you call them nowadays. A doctor can be a friend, a place, a symbol, time, hell, even me. But you will have to reach out on your own. No one can take that away from you. People want to help. I've heard your friends' prayers. They want to help. You just have to let them. You know, we will see each other again eventually. You won't be able to trick me. But next time, I wish that we will greet each other as friends, with a smile that can hold the world, eyes full of life lived. You will have gone through hardships, but also lovely times. You will have experienced life, something that I can never do, and I envy you for that. Death is jealous of you. How does that sound? I will send you back now. All you have to do is go through the front entrance the way that you came here, and I will do the rest. Is that the right decision for you? Based on logic or feelings? Good answer. You're smart. You'll make it far. Further than some, maybe even you might expect. I promise you that. No, I can't see the future. I just know people very well. I've come around. And I'm glad I've got to know you as well. And I'm excited to see you again someday. Maybe I'll visit you in a dream sometime, and we'll have a chat. But now, go and live a life worth living. Be happy, collect comforting memories, share your love, and don't be afraid. You've got one of the most powerful beings in existence covering your back. You got this. And maybe have a walk in a beautiful forest someday and think of me. Goodbye.